theatre.
Hello. Hello, Mel, I am.
Which means that by the law of comedy, I have to be Mel's comedy partner. See you.
Lads, I have 2 words to say to you. Ice Warriors.
They come not to fight, but to excel.
Now, their ratings may have dropped by 2.5 million since the first show.
Let's gloss over that. Take it and gloss it.
But I say Saturday afternoons have not been this good since the demise of Knight Rider.
Ah, say for Knight Rider. And while you're at it, since the demise of Airwolf. Yep, bring it back, that's what I say. I say it's quality, not quantity, that counts. The Ice Warriors rock. We watch them every week. We love them. I won't take any further than that, you know what I mean? They're going to be rocking this house later.
Yeah. After last week's visitation by Shem Jadir, the Ice Master.
I am not worthy.
2 of his acolytes are taking a day off to muck about with us mere mortals. Right-hand man Schnaps and top Ice Warrior Dragar the Merciless.
Yes! Dragar and Schnaps. Dragar and Schnaps.
Rosemary and Salt.
Rosemary and Salt. And
Rosemary and
that's not
Salt.
all. We've got the toppest comedians of all, who are always skating on thin ice. Do you see? See what I've done there? They've had 2 series of their own on BBC, their series Fist of Fun, a best-selling video, sell-out tours, and they've got a brand new spanking lunchtime Sunday show called This Morning with Richard, Not Judy.
Yeah, they're the icing on our light lunch cake.
Yeah.
And they'll be joining us for lunch later. It's Stu, Lee and Richard Herring!
We have to give our respect to time limits, and the time limit is now over. They are our boyfriends, Stu and Rich, and now for some funny facts about those... Why do I bother? I'm going to keep trying. They're our boyfriends, and here are a few facts about those funny lads.
Like many infamous liaisons, their eyes met across a crowded room at a university Christmas party. Richard was on his own, dancing to the Sex Pistols, and thought, on this evidence alone, he would make the perfect comedy partner.
Liam Herring started out on Radio 4 and had sell-out shows at the Edinburgh Festival. Richard even performed a full frontal, nudie, nuddy, bare naked and nude scene at one show.
Yes.
Yes. Journeys and everything, and apparently it went up a storm.
Yeah. Stuart says his... Stuart, calm.
The hormone injection's just kicking in there.
Stuart says his ideal date would involve snogging a female clone of himself.
Whilst the dictionary definition of narcissism, I think. Whilst Richard says he only went into comedy because he wanted to pull the birds, but says because it's taken him 10 years to get really famous, his body is now too old to perform the ancient ritual of sex.
Obviously we would check this out after the show, but I've got a date with a small but perfectly formed Ice Warrior Schnaps.
And I'm seeing Dragar the Merciless. So today we say we'll have
a comedy double
on ice,
and Dylan's the lemon,
which will make a change from him being a plum.
Ha.
Well, I love him, and I don't mean that because Diz.
Diz is wearing his Winter Olympics hat today.
Very good. He's a curling expert.
Good man. Commiserations to the English curling team, by the way.
You didn't brush hard enough.
I know.
You just used the brush a little bit harder.
Anyway, if you'd like to speak to Stu Lee or Richard Herring, perhaps you'd like to ask them exactly what the phrase moon on a stick means. Or maybe ask them if they ever fall out. I don't know. Call in on 09904 lunch if you have an alphabetical phone.
And that is 099045.
Laurel and Hardy meet, become superstars.
86.
Eric and Ernie meet, become superstars.
24.
Cannonball meet. Oh dear.
Or you can fax us if you like on 09902 lunch if you have an alphabetised fax.
That's 099025.
Marx and Grant, great pair of comedy writers.
86.
Marx and Engels, great pair of political theorists.
24.
Marks and Spencers, great pair of pants. Great, come on today.
Thigh huggers.
They go right up to here, they're warm, they keep the kidneys warm and also cover all the naughty banding regions there.
And now, the label sort of cut into your thigh, doesn't it? Cut
and
into
gives
your thigh.
me excruciating VPL, but that's another story. Now it's time to move from my pants to the band. But not in any way pants.
There's a link there. There's a link there.
The poorest, weakest link of all there. It's time to meet the band. They're with us for a second day on the trotters. They might sometimes make a real pig's ear of things, and their bedrooms might be complete pigsties. Do you see what I'm getting at? Why am I bothering? It's a laboured concept. Let's stick with it. Give me a good scratching any day. Please give it up for Steve, Matt, Dylan, Dan. I adore them. It's Portishead.
Yeah! Animals don't eat, so it's even more incredible to meet one who actually cooks. Yep, our chef today used to strut her stuff down the catwalk with the likes of Campbell and Moss. But unlike them, she could always be found in the kitchen at parties, which is probably why she gave up the life of a supermodel to become a super chef. Please welcome Caroline Bretherton! So elegant and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Caroline,
Welcome.
what are you cooking for us today?
I'm going to cook a beetroot and goat's cheese risotto with deep fried sage and a flour salad.
Beautiful. Today we're having beetroot and goat's cheese risotto with deep fried sage served with a flour salad. Beauty and the Beast.
You can sing.
They love you.
They love you, I think.
They love you. Well, now, when you walked in, was that a catwalk walk that you did?
It wasn't actually.
What's the catwalk walk? Quickly before we start.
It's a little more hippie swingy sort of thing.
Ah, right,
I can't possibly do it when I'm
hips,
cooking.
so hips out.
Hips out, hips out.
Okay.
Lead with the pelvis.
Lead with the pelvis.
Yes, as
okay.
they always taught me.
Lovely.
Which sounds rude.
What ingredients are you using today?
We've got some beetroot ready cooked, some arborio rice, deep fried sage, parmesan, goat's cheese, butter, little salad, a few flowers, and some stuff for a dressing.
Okay.
Oh, and that's burning.
Lovely. Do you want me to... You're right there. The old onion's a little bit burnt.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it, mate. Let's just turn down the
All
hot.
about hot. I don't think we should turn that one down, actually. I think we'll have to move it.
Okay. That's fine.
Fantastic.
All right, crashing on,
Cool.
crashing on.
Crushing on.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to
Shove
do
that
anything? Okay.
That's the rice that goes into the onions, which have already been sautéed. Now
In here without water?
Yeah, in there without water. Now, the important thing about that is to stir it around well, so all the rice gets coated in the oil to make sure
Why do you
each
put the oil on the
individual
rice then, like this?
It's mainly to bring the rice up to temperature so that you start cooking the risotto straight away with the hot stock.
Okay.
But it's also to break down the starch as well a little bit.
All right, my love.
And
Cool.
when that's done, which I think that is,
Yes.
a ladle of this at a time. If you keep stirring, and I'll start ladling, you get that little sizzle going there.
Yeah.
We like that sizzle.
Yeah, yeah, gorgeous.
This is actually the point. You can also put alcohol if you wanted to in there, because that will burn off the alcohol.
Okay. Why did you give up modelling then, Caroline?
I just done it for so long. I've done it for 8 years, and you can't, hang on forever.
Yeah. Would you ever have eaten stuff like this as a supermodel?
Yeah, I probably would have said leave out the goat's cheese and don't put any parmesan in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't give me a pudding.
And you worked with Campbell, you worked with Moss?
Yeah, we did a lot of shows together. I did a lot of catwalks, so a lot of shows.
Who's the nicest out of all of them then?
Yasmin Le Bon.
Oh,
lovely
she's
lady.
groovy, isn't she?
Yeah, 3 kids, great figure,
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah,
Good
she's
sense of
lovely.
humour.
Cool.
So we like her.
Super
Personally.
dupes.
That just keeps on being stirred like that, and what it'll do is absorb the stock bit by bit. For about 10 minutes, that will happen.
Stirring like this for 10 minutes?
All the time.
Okay.
No, you don't have to do it, I'll do it for you later.
All right, lovely.
But now, after about 10 minutes, what you do is you put some pureed beetroot in.
Right.
We've got the most enormous beetroot. I think I'll avoid that one.
That's a big one, isn't it?
Yes, it's a bit large, actually.
It's a large elephantine beetroot.
Just puree this up. You can buy
you can buy these cooked, can you already?
Yeah, ready cooked. Don't buy the ones in the jars in vinegar, which are not very nice. They're probably why everyone hates beetroot, because you all remember...
They make your lips sort of go blue, don't they? Yeah,
and your granny used to give it to you, and it was, in other words, quite disgusting. But they do organic beetroot now, as well.
Groovy?
Which you can buy ready cooked. A bit of olive oil in there, just to make sure it purees up.
Does it make your wee-wee go funny colour?
I've never looked, actually. I know that asparagus does funny things, but I don't know about beetroot. It's very good for you, beetroot.
Asparagus equals green, so that probably makes it go pink.
Pink. So they're very healthy, very healthy.
We'll check in the break. What's your top tip, Caroline?
Top tip for this one is to keep your hot stock, because if the stock isn't hot, the risotto loses its temperature, and then the cooking process kind of arrests itself halfway through.
OK, beautiful. So keep your stock hot. Now, Sue, did you know that at university Richard Herring was a rabid communist?
Yes, he was known as Red Herring. So much better now. Welcome. Here's the audience. Hello, audience. Excellent. Enough now. This is the most excellent way I've ever found of filling airtime in all my life. Just saying, hello, and it's... Now, what's your name, please, my love?
Sue.
Hello, Sue.
Claire.
Hi, Sue and Claire. Now, what have you brought for us today?
Well, I want to tell you about it first.
OK, talk me through it.
Well, I made this lovely dish to celebrate your fish, and I made some fish out of carrots and peppers, all different colours.
Lovely.
And I picked out all the green pasta out of the green, white and red pasta you get.
Yeah.
And I cooked it, and I made a lovely pond for them.
How long was this taking by this point?
I was actually up till 1:30 making it.
OK.
And it looked really lovely. It had like weed going all around the outside.
Weed. So you said it's got weed going around it. Not so appetising, right?
No, weed that was made out of that kind of different leaves you get in bags.
What happened?
It's still on the kitchen table.
Why is it still on the kitchen table? You left it.
Got it, so I've got this.
You big Burke.
I know. So
You're
I've got this
mini.
instead.
What's this?
This is something.
Is it BR's finest?
It's
Yes, it is, isn't it? It's the finest thing I've ever seen them make.
British Rail special.
It's a good thing too, because
Very proud.
I had loads of hilarious jokes about you forgetting your food, but I forgot to bring them to you. I forgot to bring them. It's literally, you forgetting your food, it's like the sort of Spice Girls preparing an acceptance speech at the Brits. OK, I'm going to move on from the old sarnie with good Lord only knows what in it. Now, moving on, this is a neat segue because we have an environmental health officer here today. Who is the environmental...
Environmental health officer.
Train on that, my love. It's alive. It's spinning out of control with additives and crud and rubbish and silt and yeah, lovely. Not really, British Rail. I love you. I'm contractually obliged to say that. Now, how do you train to be an environmental health officer?
Well, you go to university for 4 years, and your third year you spend with a local authority.
Smelling things.
Smelling things.
Smelling things,
yeah.
tracking things.
Yeah.
Now, what do your earrings say? For negate.
Yes.
Spelling error or sort of veiled joke about the 1970s Watergate
You
incident?
decide.
Excellent. I'll think about it. I'll mull over that.
Yeah.
I'm going to crash through to the cake here.
It's not mine.
It's not yours. You made that?
You made it.
You made it?
We did, yeah.
It's wicked. Look at that.
She fell asleep on it on the way here, though.
Nagano, 1998.
And
Yep.
an elbow mark.
Excellent. And you see the absence of any British Olympic stars on that cake at all. I'm going to hush over here. Hello, you two. How you doing?
Hello.
And your name is?
David.
Teresa.
Is it right that I say bom dia to you? Is that right?
If you want to, yeah.
Right, because you're half Portuguese.
A half, yes.
What's the other half?
English.
Excellent.
Very English.
Excellent. And what you brought?
It's a Portuguese dish. It's called chorizo.
Yeah.
Just
a big sausage.
yeah, big salted sausage.
We're supposed to put methylated spirits in here and cook it, but we're not quite sure.
You just made done with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
solo salty sausage.
Yes.
So you chop it up and put it with salad, and we're having it with Lee and herring.
Hey! We like that. Seems a suitable pun to end on. God bless you. Thank you, audience. Now, you know, many Lee and Herring say that being in a comedy double act is a bit like being married. You're always there for each other through thick and thin.
That's until you find your partner's been writing around. I've seen those quink stains, Sue. I know what's going on.
Sorry, Melly.
I'm in the kitchen with Caroline. We were just arguing over the spoon.
Well, we
Don't let's argue, Caroline.
Sorry,
I like you. You're a
sorry.
nice woman. Don't let's argue.
Sorry. You're very proprietorial about my
Good.
food.
OK. Caroline Bretherton, we're cooking beetroot goat's cheese risotto. Hello. With deep-fried sage served with a flour salad. What's next?
Next is to put this beetroot in there.
Cool.
Which is quite simple. This is the pureed beetroot straight out of the food processor. One of the best things about this dish, apart from being quite cheap and incredibly good for you, is that the colour is just amazing. It sort of goes fuchsia pink.
Quite
when you've added
girly.
Bit girly, also a bit Valentine's, which we quite like, actually.
Saturday Valentine's beetroot risotto. What
Pink
more could you ask
risotto,
for?
flowery salad.
Love it. Are you going to cook this for your lovely man?
I'm actually not, no, because I'm working. So,
Oh, no. So where are you going to be working?
I'm doing canapes for the Verona Opera Company. I'm having a bit of a do at this person's house. I can't say much more because you can't sort of talk about private clients.
Karen, you're here to do some cooking, my love.
Yes, I am. I will
some
cook.
Cooking.
Right, the
I'm
next
doing
thing we're going to do, you stir that, just keep on stirring.
Okay.
The next thing we're going to do is make the salad.
Right.
Basically, just take any green leaves that you have in season. I mean, the important thing about this is to keep it quite light. So if you're going to use things like this, which is radicchio, don't use it in big lumps because they will sink to the bottom and sort of weigh everything down.
And you've got some pansies.
Flowers, got some pansies. Now, you can eat quite a lot of flowers. Got some herbs here as well. Don't go eating any flowers because obviously you could end up poisoning yourself.
Yeah, like what? What's the most poisonous plant?
I think poppies aren't particularly healthy. I've gone the wrong side of poppies before now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, not
yeah.
great. So
What about those? Those are pansies, obviously.
pansies are great.
From
Also,
your garden, or?
Actually, not this time of year, no. I mean, obviously, towards the summer they will be, but these are from supplier.
Right.
Nasturtium leaves are brilliant. You can grow them really easily in a window box even.
Just got to be careful, though.
But
especially there's cats about. You don't want to eat flowers off the... Seriously.
Keep them above the ground, obviously.
Yes.
But you don't want to... Obviously, the other thing is, if people haven't had flowers in the salad before, they might not want to eat the whole flower. So if you break it up and put it in bit by bit. Now, a bit of dressing.
OK, groovy.
This is just olive oil, about 3 parts olive oil to 1 part balsamic vinegar.
Groovy.
A little bit of honey.
Okay.
Again, it's really to taste, so I can't sort of guarantee any quantities. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, it's quite hard work, this, isn't it?
It's quite sort of...
Stirring malarkey.
But it'll be worth it in the end. Bit of seasoning in there.
OK.
And I always do my salad dressing in a jam jar, because you can do loads, leave it in the fridge, doesn't matter. It's better after a couple of days.
You rock.
So there you go. And we dress that later.
What's your top tip, Caroline?
Top tip for the second half is leftover risotto. Make loads, because it's fantastic either cold or made into little sort of balls, stuffed with mozzarella, deep fried and served as a kind of little nibbly thing.
To the Verona Opera House.
Exactly, actually, yes. I'll have
That's what you're going to do, isn't it?
Any leftovers.
I busted you, yes. OK. Join us after the break when the most fanciful boys in comedy will be here. Stuart Lee and Richard Herring. And before we go, take a look at them in action. Not that kind of action. I meant performing as a comedy act on TV. Action.
Friday night. I shouldn't be working. I should be at home watching telly. Some good stuff on tonight. It's Friday night.
Yeah, but you are on telly tonight now. On Friday, you are.
See, I'm missing that as well. And I quite like me. Some of the stuff I do is really funny.
Ruby. Lovely. Gosh. Not 1, but 2 ice warriors will be in the house, so we'll see you in 3.
So, how was the rock festival? Glastonbury. And you would have loved it.
Relax. If you had Ariel Automatic, tests prove that Ariel performs significantly better on tough, greasy food stains than the leading rival brand.
Of course, in my day, things were different. Yeah, right. We didn't wear any clothes.
Relax. Ariel will get it clean.
Can you guess how much Vodafone's new local off-peak call rate is for both evenings and weekends? Just 2p a minute. For cheaper local off-peak calls, the word is Vodafone.
The new Autumn-Winter Next Directory. All the clothes you could ever dream of. Packed into 500 stunning pages. Make sure you're dressed for every occasion. Call 0800 407 407 for your copy. The Next Directory. Call 0800 407 407. Right up to 11 p.m. Kids at permanently low prices forever.
How many people in this country are on a credit blacklist?
1 person in 4 would automatically be rejected for a mortgage by banks and building societies. But If you're in the same boat as Derek here, there is an alternative. The money store.
For mortgages and remortgages, don't take no for an answer. Call the Money Store on 0800 731 9494.
Now, curling tongs and hairdryers can actually be good for your hair. Because now Organics contains advanced protective agents, which are heat activated to actually improve the condition of your hair. So now blow drying can make it look and feel healthy and beautiful, from root to tip. Organics, where there's heat, there's beautiful hair.
Welcome back to That Lunch. First of all, an apology. I said the English curling team. I, of course, meant to say the British curling team. Apologies. In a few moments, we're going to be joined by the comedy duo who have been described as Wayne's World with A-levels. Lee and Herring.
In the meantime, you'll have to settle for us, described as A, pretentious, and B, Sesame Street minus the educational content and costumes.
And after lunch, we're going to be coming face to face with Dragar the Merciless and Schnaps from the top TV entertainment show Ice Warriors.
Yes, and here we've got Schnaps's leg guard and Dragar's helmet as trophies.
Spiky
Very good helmet there.
Ooh, excellent. Now, did you hear about last night's Brit Awards? Shola Armour? Shola Armour? Shola Armour. What's her name? Shola Armour. She won Top Female Act, and guess what? She'll be singing on Light Lunch on Thursday.
By that time, we'll have learned how to pronounce her name, I hope.
Shola Armour.
All Saints and the Verve, they stole most of the prizes.
It's terrible, as they would have been awarded them anyway.
But the real highlight of the show, for my money, was John Prescott's early bath.
Yeah, a member of Chumbawamba, like, tipped a bucket of ice water over Prescott as he was listening to Fleetwood Mac.
Radical, man. You'd think he'd have been grateful to have been brought round from the coma that listening to Fleetwood Mac would induce.
Yeah. Now, the dictionary definition of anarchy is utter lawlessness, chaos, complete disorder.
And throwing a tiny thimble of water over a porky politician at a corporate music do. Naughty,
Very naughty.
Radical.
Other Brit news. The Spice Girls were so miffed at being upstaged by All Saints that they sent lookalikes to rehearsals.
Which is apt, as the Spiceys are a pale imitation of a real group anyway.
Ow! Contentious. At the actual ceremony, they arrived on stage in a stretch mini. Though why they all chose to share Jerry's dress, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. They did sing their last single, Stop, which thankfully was a sentiment echoed by everyone listening to them in the audience.
And were given...
Let the baiting commence!
Poor Spice Girls.
I feel sorry for them now.
And they were given a special award for achievements in exporting their music abroad.
And abroad is quite frankly the best place for it. Thus ends the jibing and the baiting.
Good. God. Tony Blair has appointed his old school drama teacher as head of a lottery organisation responsible for £250 million.
You can imagine the drama teacher sorting out the lottery. Oh, darling, settle, settle. I want to do the lottery in the style of Hamlet.
Act 1, the pre-ball ceremony.
Act 2, the releasing of those big money balls. Act 3, we are millionaires. He's also rumoured to be, Thank you for applauding the mediocrity of those voices. Thank you. He's also rumoured to be appointing his old maths teacher to run the economy.
His old chemistry teacher to be the new drugs czar.
And his old PE teacher to keep his backbenchers in line and shout at them when they're nudie in the showers.
What do you mean, Harmon? You're off games again? Have you got a note from your private consultant? Think about it.
Put it in a grip bag, take it home and laugh maybe tomorrow. Now, Melly.
Melly on now.
Melly on the telly. I can see your belly. You're rather smelly. Go to the kitchen. Haven't got any more rhymes for you.
She smells it.
She smells of roses and lavender.
I do. Interesting. I'm going to do a catwalk walk over. You do it with your pelvis. Do it with your pelvis. Like that?
Yeah. Okay. A little polishing.
Caroline! Hello.
Hello.
How's it all going?
It's fine.
Pink risotto.
It's fine. Pink risotto is rested. We need to rest it for a couple of minutes.
It's very tired in there.
It's a little weary.
All that stirring.
I know. Stirring stuff. To that gets added bit of butter. I mean, again, as much or as little as you want. There's no kind of hard and fast
go
rules. Go wild, or not too wild if you're on a diet. Little pinch Parmesan, not too much, because I'm going to put some goat's cheese in, some black pepper, and again, probably no salt, because if you're like me, you probably use a stock cube, which are very salty. Unless, of course, you made your own stock, in which case you're, a great chef.
Okay.
Not like me. Goat's cheese.
Lovely.
Chopped up and just put straight in.
Just a random sort of thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be chopped sort of perfectly, because it starts to melt into the risotto anyway.
Okay, lovely.
About 100 or 150 grams for 2 people. That gets stirred in.
Okay. I mentioned your husband earlier, Caroline.
You did,
Lovely
indeed.
hubby.
Yes.
I danced with your hubby at a college disco.
I have heard this.
Yes.
Actually. I have
It was
heard.
the old.
I have heard. I didn't hear that bit.
No, no, it wasn't. I promise you. We drank some cider and the walls were very sweaty.
And you all fell on the floor.
Duran.
Oh dear.
Just pulled a muscle down.
Deep fried sage.
Deep fried sage, right.
On top. Bit of a good.
Can you do that and sort of keep it aside?
Yes,
or
but again, not for too long. I think about an hour maximum, because it'll start to go greasy again.
Superb.
And lose its thing. Bit of Parmesan. Dress the salad.
While you dish up that lovely salad, I'm going to dish out your recipe details.
Lovely.
If you'd like a copy of Caroline's recipe, please send an SE to us at FREEPOST lunch. But please state which recipe you'd like. Tune into Fortel on page 330, or you can find us on the World Wide Web at the Channel 4 site on the internet. And remember the old light lunch proverb. If you see a picture of a flaming, horned root vegetable surrounded by sacrificed goats, that'll be the beetroot of all evil. Good evening.
Melanie Gedroych is now resigned from show business. Please bring on Angela Rippon. Bring her on!
Caroline, cheers! Angela Rippon. Caroline, thank you so much. You are just stunning, you're beautiful, you're glam, and you're also a very good chef.
Thank you.
Come back.
I will.
Lovely.
Indeed.
Band, are you hungry?
Yeah!
Audience, are you hungry? Yeah! Then let's eat lunch.
Our guests today are old mates from the days when daytime telly meant an hour of Pebble Mill and a quick visit up above the streets and houses with Bungle and Geoffrey. Didn't speak remotely like that, but I just enjoyed saying Geoffrey. Now I put my milk in a small fridge instead of leaving it on my windowsill, and they are now top-notch comedy stars with a new series starting on Sunday. Give it up and shake it about for Richard Lee and Stuart Herring!
It's a flower.
It's designed to match your shirt,
Yeah.
Divvy.
This is a great show.
Tuck in, lads, tuck in.
Tuck in. This is
Tuck into beetroot.
There's beetroot and flowers.
I don't eat flowers.
Yeah. It's like it's quite insulting to be invited around and then just given flowers to eat as if he's like a horse or something. Like, eat the flowers.
Nothing wrong with the flowers.
They're like flowers. They're fluffy. They've got
stamen.
They're furry.
They're furry flowers.
Tuck in, lads. Tuck into
thank
flowers.
you.
Tuck into beetroot and flowers.
Beetroot and flowers. My two favourite things to eat.
Marvellous.
Persecute him by putting a flower in his ear. Now, tell us about the new show.
Well, it's copied off this, basically. No,
But on a Sunday.
Yeah, no, we've been doing this show in Edinburgh called This Morning with Richard Not Judy.
We saw it.
Beautiful.
It was excellent.
Based around the fact that...
You saw it in 1994, and then you did it on DVD.
We saw it in 1997.
All right, sorry.
I know. Right, and so yeah, we're going to copy Richard and Judy's format, but do like comedy in it. That's the plan.
Excellent. What time on Sunday?
12:15, and then with a Friday night repeat.
11:45 at night.
Have you watched Rick as Rick, but no Jude at all at the moment?
Yeah. It's interesting, actually, because without her to keep him in line, he goes a bit mad, doesn't he?
Rogue.
You noticed?
He does.
Don't you reckon?
He's insane.
Takes off his tie and everything.
He
I know,
does.
he
He
gets
gets
back there with his jacket
He
on.
was stroking his own thighs today, really vigorously, just stroking himself.
He has got a bit mental. It's a shame when she's not there to keep an eye on him. He does go a bit mental. My favourite one was when they had a phone-in about sexually transmitted diseases.
Really?
I must be allowed to say that because I said it on Richard and Judy.
Yeah, you are allowed to
And
say
their
that.
phones went down. And so then he said, no, we're going to carry on, we're going to carry on. Get my mobile phone out of the office. So they get it in, and they got the mobile phone. And then it was because that wasn't mic'd up, he had to relay what she was saying. So he was going, yes, all right, she's got a discharge, like that. Which I think, you know, that's the root of professionalism and sensitivity, which we're hoping to copy.
Excellent.
And he lies as well.
And also the keenness on sexually transmitted diseases, which will hopefully be a theme running throughout your show.
He got that model on, you know, from the...
Boddington's advert, Melanie Sykes.
Melanie Sykes. And she's been presenting on The Big Breakfast, and he was sitting back there with his tie off and his, you know, shirt open, showing off about how to do interviews, and he was going, yeah, well, you should do what I do in interviews. I never prepare questions, and I just go on and just see what happens. And we knew he didn't do that because we've been on, and he prepared all the questions, and he was lying through his teeth.
He's a
to
liar.
try and impress Melanie Sykes, because Judy wasn't there.
Yeah.
And Judy must have been sitting at home thinking, there's Richard with his tie off, trying to get off with Melanie Sykes. He was furious.
That's no-go, isn't it?
I know.
Quite frankly.
Vaguely doesn't lie.
He's a liar.
He's a liar.
He's a
well,
liar
we've got yin-yang with differing beliefs on the old Maidley there. Who do you think is the best Judy replacement?
Karen. I like Karen.
I liked Fern, I liked Karen.
Julia Carling.
You've gone for the alternative choice.
I like him on his own because he just is insane, and that's good. I like him without
You think he should just be unfettered by Bird?
Yeah, because he's like a real Alan Partridge on his own.
It's like he's watched Alan Partridge and gone, that's popular with the kids, I know, I'll copy that.
That's a good
idea.
idea.
Quite understanding it's a joke.
Yeah.
the new Partridge for the 90s.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good bloke, we love him.
You have met him though, you went on the show.
Oh yes.
To talk about this new show.
And I've met you.
Yeah, and I've met you.
No, we went on last year. I don't think they'd have us on this year because they've probably seen the poster with the shopping trolley in the background. They might.
Stu looked very good as a woman, doll.
I think I want to talk about this. Can we see a picture of Stu dressed as a lovely lady?
In blondie wig.
A picture of this? There. You're a proud young lady there.
What do you mean?
You're proud and somewhat indifferent lady. I don't know, there's a sort of...
There's pride in the chest.
He enjoyed it a bit too much, actually. We were going to do the whole show like it, but, you know, the dress got in a bit of a state.
Yeah,
it's a bit like Monica Lewinsky's blue dress. It came back like, so we had to be a bit careful.
Talking of clothes, actually, look what I've got. I've got you a present.
What? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! Oh, Stu!
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Stu wore this in Edinburgh in 1995, and I said, I really like that jacket. Can I have it?
Yeah, well, you can have it. Yeah.
Now that it's 1997.
Because guess what? I don't really wear that.
Now he's on TV doing it. He wouldn't give it to her at the time, but now he can look like he's really generous by giving it to you on TV.
I don't like it anymore. No, I love it because you
Some of us were amazed you liked it in 95, to be honest.
I got it in the second-hand shop, and I remember you being annoyed that I'd bought it before you.
Because I saw it in the same second-hand shop, and he got it.
Is it designer wear, Stu?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's sort of X kind of red coat or something. Yeah.
It's sheer button.
Yeah. Well, I never forget when someone
Sue Pollard.
Yeah.
It's the yellow coat.
It's Heidi High.
You coveted that, and I've remembered it. It's all right.
Put it on, then.
Put it on.
Right, okay.
Put it on! Put it on! Put it on!
Okay.
See, that works for me.
Quite cool. Quite roomy or not?
No, that's all right.
Stu, I love it. Cheers.
I can't imagine you ever wearing that, Stu. I don't know what
it's mad. I want to see Stu wearing that, actually. Can you wear it for us? Can you model it for us?
Put it on.
The king of cool in a Butlins blazer.
Have you had your hair cut, Stu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Loads of times.
Okay.
Every time it gets long. Yeah, I like that.
It's good. It's
That
better
works.
on Stu.
No, it's not. I'm not having it. It's for you.
Is it true you two met at a Christmas party? Is that a true thing?
That is true. I know it's hard to believe that someone would meet at a Christmas party. But we did.
There was nothing funny about it.
I'm trying to big it up as a big media event, as a meeting of minds.
We met, and I'd done a song, comedies. We'd never met in the comedy shows. We'd both done stuff. I'd done a song that's too rude to mention on morning TV about a certain part of my anatomy that can sing. It was my winky.
Yeah. The singing winky song.
Stu thought that sounded like a good idea, so he decided to work with me. What an idiot he was.
On the strength of a singing winky song?
Yeah, what an idiot. It wasn't funny, it wasn't any good.
What are the things that, Stu, what are the things that wind you up about Rich?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Yeah, go on.
His inability to deal with the sound that polystyrene makes when it is scraped against another piece of polystyrene.
I don't like that. When it's broken, I don't like it.
I can't do it.
Horrible.
It drives him mad, though.
Yeah.
It makes me violent. It's like the Incredible Hulk, except I don't go green or break anything. My trousers don't rip. It's not really like the Incredible Hulk. I don't know why I said that.
Well, it's like,
but I get a bit angry.
It's like a man who's a bit fat and doesn't like polystyrene. That's what it's like.
If there was a programme about it in the opening titles, I'd go, don't scrape polystyrene together. I don't like it when people scrape polystyrene together, but they probably won't ever make a programme of it.
Well, Channel 5.
Maybe a journalist could follow him across the country and go, was a man who was annoyed by polystyrene in this town last week. And he could be, like, upset each week they've missed him.
And then I'd walk off up the road at the end.
Some sad music.
People too young to remember the Incredible Hulk TV series there, but it's very good.
It was a good conceit that sort of seems to have eluded people here.
Bill Bixby.
But imagine if you had seen it, how funny that would be.
What annoys Stu? If polystyrene annoys you, what annoys Stu?
Stu, everything in the world. He's the grumpiest man. Yesterday, when we did the pilot for our TV show yesterday, and he was convinced, there was this bloke in there who looked, he said it was Will from the Chris Evans show, the producer, Will. And it was, and I said, I don't think it's Will. It doesn't like it. He was going, it is, it's Will. He's trying to steal our ideas. And he went mad and he couldn't do the show. We were trying to do a run-through and he couldn't do it because he was saying, get him out of the studio. He's trying to steal our ideas. And it was just a photographer who looked a bit like Will, but with a kind of longer, stretched face. So that was, he went mad.
I'm hallucinating that bloke.
You're seeing producers of well-known shows coming into your own audience.
Lost it.
But, you know,
and who gets the most fan mail out of two of you?
We get exactly the same. We count them up.
Do you count them?
No.
We get about the same, really. We do. Stu gets a bit more.
Who gets the most fan mail out of you, then?
Yeah. Do you get any fan mail?
No, we haven't had any fan mail.
Right, no,
we've had 2 each, I think.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Right, and you love the show, you idiots. Come on. Right to her.
There's going to be an avalanche of lunacy now.
We've had some great nutty letters we've had, but we're not going to talk about them on air.
No,
they might come and get us.
Eat your flowers, Stu.
How would you categorise your fans? Do you have sort of different types of fans?
Well, not like we did an interview with the Daily Star, and they said, "Did you get along with the bloke who was horrible, sleazy, vile man?"
Is this your horrible, sleazy, vile man voice coming up?
Yeah, no, he went, "Did you get a load of girls talking to you after the shows? Did you get loads of girls?" And I went, "No, not really." And he went, "Did you get loads of, like, real babes coming up?" And I went, "No, I mean, the people that like us tend to be fairly normal, you know, it's not really like that." Which he reported as me saying, most women that talk to us after shows are dog ugly, right? He put that in, completely just changed it.
Completely lied.
I know, and they made up loads of stuff in it, and what they do is a Daily Star take the way you speak and then kind of downgrade it into a way that Daily Star readers will understand. Yeah. Kind of really frightening.
Yeah, the Daily Star don't tell the truth.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Imagine that, amazing.
So they completely distorted it?
They made loads of stuff up, it was very funny.
They made up a terrible story as well.
They made up a story about Peter Bainham that we'd made up as well.
Is he going to be in your show?
I love Peter Bainham.
Welsh Pete.
No, he's changed now. He's on the Friday Night Armistice doing satire.
He's become more political.
Wearing suits. He's
become
he's a
political.
Oxbridge toff. I hate him.
He's become political and also kind of advert whore. So he can make more for eating 1 tin of pot noodle, Pete Bainham, than he can for working for 2 months with us. So
it's a strange world.
Noodle advert.
Too gorgeous. That's him. You know him, don't you?
Lads, eat up. Yeah, he was on the show.
He's on the show. He's lovely.
Eat up your flowers, lads. We've got to go to a break now. So join us after the break. When we're going to be meeting Schnaps and Dragar the Merciless from the unmissable light entertainment experience that is Ice Warriors. And I tell you, there are a couple of real ice gems. I see you in 3.
Winner Taco is a mighty new taco-shaped snack. Once you've bitten your way through the crispy wafer taco and munched and crunched through all the chocolate and peanuts and devoured the smooth caramel through to the cool ice cream, it'll leave you feeling a much better animal. Winner Taco, the powerful new snack from Walls.
World Cup final week is when the really big games start. There are 2 super draws this week. The first is this Wednesday, with a guaranteed jackpot of £15 million.
It's you.
Let's see that again, John.
It could be you.
Because your baby can't do this, we've come up with this. New pop-up wipes from Johnson's Baby.
I am not a happy bunny. Pourquoi? I hear you say, I, Serge Lapelle, the man who has dressed the world's most beautiful people. I've just seen the Citroën Summer Exclusive Collection, including the stunning Zara Sensation, with 2 years of free insurance from only 11,995 sterling pounds. Mais oui, electric sunshine roof, CD auto changer, remote central locking, très chic. But I will show them. Gordon Bennett!
Zara Sensation with 2 years free insurance.
Today we're making a submarine. You'll need a washing up liquid bottle, a pair of scissors and some plasticine. Now before you use those scissors, today you'll need a washing up liquid bottle, a ruler and some sticky tape. Now first of all you need to
still loads left.
Because of its richer, longer-lasting suds, Fairy really does last longer than anything else.
You'll need an egg box, some sticky back plastic and a yogurt pot.
If you were brothel, that's who you'd think of, isn't it? But they can't arrange your contents insurance. That's the job of the AA. And it was them that had the best deal for me. AA home insurance costs less than I thought. Give them a call on 0800 444 777.
If the stock market tumbles, a lot of people could lose a lot of the money they put in. But not, of course, the people who put their money into the advanced savings account from B2.
Change the way you save. For the Advanced Savings Account pack, call B2 on 0800 626262.
This is us when we got there. And this is us when we left.
The Argos sale, where everyone's going this summer. It's our biggest ever.
Welcome back to Light Lunch, where we've quite literally doubled up with laughter, because we've got Lee and Herring in the lounge, hoping that Ice Warriors Dragar... Yes!
They love you, lads.
Bring the love over here. Hoping that Dragar and Schnapps won't give them the cold shoulder.
Hey.
Yeah?
In a moment, we're going to be taking calls to Stuart and Richard, but first it's time to introduce our Light Lunch Millennium Dome.
Drink in the spectacle.
Gong, 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 gong,
bang, bang.
Unlike the real thing, this only costs £12.50 to build, and it's a lot more useful.
Thought we'd make full use of double dose of comedy today and ask Richard and Stu what alternative uses they could come up with for this spiky thing.
Oh, I think it'd make a great helmet for any Ice Warrior.
It's quite similar to Dragar's, actually.
You put the heads of people on here, top of people's heads.
Good.
You put them on there.
Instead of a tower.
Yeah.
As a warning to what?
As a warning to other people from the millennium who've done bad things. Adolf Hitler.
Right.
In the detachable saucer section that we have, what could go in there? What do you reckon? At the moment, there's a large man, isn't there?
Yeah.
Will the enormous coffee display
I think if you had a straw, you could drink it through the hole in the top.
It is perfect, actually.
I think they should put that little boy in who's been. They should put that little boy in there who's been advising on what goes in the Millennium Dome, but just on his own, with nothing in there.
No toys.
Space forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For all time as a monument to his own
Good
folly.
idea.
Right, our phone lines are as busy as mills on Rose Street during the Edinburgh Festival. Eh? Who's on line one? Anyone on line one?
Yeah, it's me.
Who's me?
I'm John Atkins.
John Atkins III,
John Atkins III,
Hello,
he
John
writes to us.
Atkins III. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Cool. What's your question, John?
Well, I was just going to say, you're both very big fans of the Goodies, aren't you?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
But like them, do you have any plans for a children's cartoon series spin-off?
Well, as you know, John, as a regular correspondent to us, and obviously someone who's visited our website a lot, thanks for those funny drawings you sent in, by the way.
Good. I hope you enjoyed them.
Yeah, we do have plans for a cartoon spin-off. We're doing a thing in the TV show called The Organ Gang. It's really weird having John, like, in the ether like that.
Have you spoken to John before?
No,
we've never heard his voice.
You just emailed.
I imagined he was a kind of flamboyant character, but he's quite boring when you hear him speaking. I thought he'd be a flamboyant dandy.
I thought he was going to be like Richard III or something like that. John Atkins.
I'm wearing a purple shirt.
Oh, there we go. See, I knew I was right.
Good. It's really strange doing a phoning, because this is someone who's written. We know all our fans by name because we have
You've
so
only got
few.
10 of them.
And they ring him on the phone. It's like a voice from God, but God's got you.
The Organ Gang is like it's like the Munch Bunch or the Pea People or whatever, but they're internal organs of the human body.
Yeah.
And they have adventures together. Henry Hart, Lily Liver,
Groovy.
Barry Bladder. We've also got, it's mainly children's stuff. We've got some crows that speak called Histor and Pliny.
But you're not worried about infringing on copyright laws of the Garden Gang?
Of the Garden Gang? Well, no, because that's in the garden. You listening?
We don't know.
And this is an organ.
Yeah.
Very different, isn't it? A garden gang.
John, a garden is different to the internal organs of the human body.
Yeah, I think what I've done there is...
What you've done there is confuse the garden.
That could lead to some terrible problems in your life.
We've got to go, John. Lovely to talk to you.
Talk to you, John.
Super voice to the, to the email. Lovely. Anyway, Sue in the audience.
Purple shirt, very flamboyant. Right, here's Steve. Hi, Steve. Can you just break this for me? Just needs a bit of breaking. Just needs just a little bit. I don't know if Rich can hear that. Just a little bit of broken stuff there. Now, Steve, who's your question for?
It's to both guests. I was wondering, what is the poshest gig you've ever done?
Poshest gig you've ever done. Be honest, lads.
We did the Palladium with Mel and Sue.
Yeah, that was good.
And some other people. Mel and Sue went really badly.
We went down very badly.
It was a charity gig for Children on the Edge. And then we came on and just...
we
picked it up, stormed over. That was quite posh. That was quite nice.
We were on with Richard Wilson from...
I Don't Believe It.
I Don't Believe It. And Rich followed him around all night going, I don't believe it, shouting that at him. Even as far as going into the toilets. And while Richard Wilson was in the toilet, Rich jumped up and was shouting over the cubicle, shouting, I don't believe it at him. And he didn't find it funny at all by that stage. But
he actually said, I don't believe it, when I did that.
But he meant it, like, just really.
He didn't say it in that high voice. I actually just saw Drago, whatever he's called.
Dragar.
I saw him going to the toilet as well, just now, just
in
outside.
In his huge cloak?
In his cloak. He wheezes ice as well.
Does he? No way!
And he's got a futuristic winky as well.
Crashing on back to Sue in audience land.
Hello there. I'm here with Loretta. Who's your question for?
It's for both of them.
Okay.
I just wondered which, do they both write the same amount of material or do they write different amounts?
Well, we write the same amount, but all Stu's stuff's rubbish, so we throw that away. Yeah. And then we do the stuff that I'd written.
No, we write exactly the same amount. And in fact, for every series, if I've written like 3 or 4 lines more than Rich, even if they're good, I'll cut those so that it balances out exactly. I hope that answers your question.
Now, from David on the Cake Shop, Stuart, do you grow your hair long at the front to pretend you're not bald?
Correct.
Yes, that's the correct answer.
Because he thinks if he can grow enough and pile it up on top, it looks like...
It's the Arthur Scargill principle,
It is, yeah.
Look, I can do an impression of Stu's hair now, though, look. There you go, look.
But you have to shade it back.
No, it's very even, though. It's lovely.
It is, yeah.
I like it.
It's groovy.
I like that.
I can wear it down or at the sides.
You could, but also you could crimp it, which I think you've not investigated sufficiently.
Don't draw attention to it, because I rang my gran up before we went on to tell her that I'll be on television, and she'll be watching this now. Aren't you at home? My gran going, oh, his hair does look stupid, and she'll ring me up tonight and she'll go, why didn't you do your hair properly?
They talked about
Aren't you, Gran?
Hi, Stu's Gran. Hello.
Hi,
lovely.
Stu's Gran.
I love
and the man over the road came over and he said how stupid your hair on television. I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there now, aren't you, laughing at this? But I know that's what you're saying.
Now, I've got a question for Rich here from Katie M.
Oh, yes.
Rich, does Stuart, when he goes on tour, ever take his leather trousers to a dry cleaner?
No, he doesn't. And it gets very sweaty in there and smelly.
And
he's
things
got
grow.
trademark leather trousers.
I haven't worn those for
haven't you?
Some days.
2 days. For almost 2 days. 40. And I now want to hear about the full frontal nudie winky expose.
Yes, I took all my clothes off in a play, but I wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been gratuitous.
Yes. That was the sole reason for doing it.
No, it was in a play. It was a very serious play I wrote called Excavating Reach. It was about archaeology and a bloke running around naked. But I had to run around naked. It was kind of the cathartic moment.
Was that one on the horse, the nude man on the horse?
Was it on a horse?
No, that's Equus, sorry, getting confused.
Very similar.
You wrote it?
I wrote it myself.
So you wrote yourself a full nude scene, basically?
I did, yeah, but he didn't know he was going to play the character.
You must be very pleased with yourself, young Richard, and all
No,
your
that's the whole
equipment.
point. It was meant, when you saw it, it was meant to be a degrading moment for the character. And it was, not only for the character, but for the actor and the writer
and
as
the
well
audience.
at the same time. Yeah. And for everyone associated with him.
It was a melting pot of shame.
It's very good. It's very liberating to take all your clothes off and run around in public, but you do tend to get arrested unless you charge people to come and see it.
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Don't forget, if you want to find out more about Stu and Rich and their new show, there is a direct link to their page from the Light Lunch site on the on the Channel 4 website on the internet at www.channel4.com.
There isn't one back.
What's that?
There isn't one back. We're not putting
it the other way.
No,
yeah, we'll have a sort of two-way thing.
Hey.
Now, we're going to see you in a minute. OK, for now, we've got to put on some gloves, which
and
are down
some woolly hats. For no reason.
For no apparent reason other than I like dressing up, and there's nothing wrong with that, is there, if you're a grown, large lady? OK, we're going to travel now to a far and distant land.
Yep, because unless you've been
Why am I
living under
standing?
an
Who knows?
iceberg for the last few weeks, you'll no doubt be aware of the new icy craze, which is sweeping the nation. Ice Warriors Mania. Take a look at this.
Immediately, Dragar the Merciless lives up to his name. Wham, bam, slam, and down Cardiff go. It's very hard to pick that Saturn up, as you can see, and Dragar, a one-man defence at the moment. 25 credits, who's going to take control? Karlak, defending well. As the Saturn gets lifted, it's in the air. It's over to Jason. Can he make it? 50 credits. Yes, he can.
Very good, Joel. Hello.
Simmer, because they're coming.
They're coming.
Last week on the show, we were honoured by the presence of the Ice Master Shem Jadir himself.
Today we meet the Ice Master's right-hand man, Schnaps, and Ice Warrior Dragar the Merciless.
Bring them on! Respect.
Lads, welcome. Welcome. Oh, what's your helmet? Very spiky.
That's a
Very strong. Welcome. Now, Dragar, we actually heard you speak.
Come in, little Schnaps.
Come in, little Schnaps. There you go. Lovely, lovely. Dragar, we heard... Sorry, it's the teeth. Very good teeth.
Very good bottom jaw.
We heard Dragar speak on Ice Warriors on Saturday. Is that going to be a regular thing? Are you going to do a lot of speaking?
Just try and stop me.
It's a new thing.
Lovely.
The speech is an excellent new thing. Now, I want to know, where is the ice world? This is confusing me. I want to know geographically, where does the ice world fall? Is it another planet? Is this planet in the future?
Junction 3 off the M25.
Junction 3 off the M25. That's where you find Ice World.
Lovely. Now, Schnaps.
Schnaps has gone rogue.
There you go.
Slightly
Sorry.
fiddling with stuff that he shouldn't on his own person.
Are we going to hear Schnaps? We're going to hear you speak, Schnaps.
Good. Doing some nifty work round here. Let's stop that. Let's take that delightful concept and let's do that later. That's excellent. Now, we had the Ice Master on. He came on and he said that you were able to travel through time by an intricate process whereby there was a rent in the space-time continuum. Do you think, is that how you travel, or do you just use a simple spaceship?
Stabs he's in charge of transportation.
You drive a spaceship, yes or no? Just give a hilarious, monkeyish little voicey thing. Yes, they use a spaceship.
Now, Schnaps and Dragar, we thought we'd put you to the test and see if you're as deft with your hands as you are with your feet by pitting you two against Lee and Herring in an ice footy game.
Excellent.
Let's
We'll move you across
here now.
Schnaps, Dragar.
Schnaps. This way, my love. There you go. Well, Schnaps and Dragar. Dragar, you're on this side, doll. Dragar, this side, my love. Schnaps and Dragar, go.
Coordinate the warriors.
Here we go.
Chance that we've got against the Ice Warriors.
Warriors versus Lee and Herring.
Okay.
The Ice Warriors can't really see what they're doing. So.
That's my one.
Okay, right, lads, we're going to be the umpires. I've got the whistle.
Thing there.
Schnaps, stop mucking about. There you go.
Schnaps,
on my whistle, lads. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Go for your life.
Come on, Ice Warriors. Come on, Warriors.
I'm passing. And Rich, no!
You're not allowed to do it. You're Schnaps, Chief.
I don't think that. Yeah.
You are not allowed to do that.
One to the humans.
Humans.
An excellent system whereby I have to lean over. Fire, go, off you go. Okay.
Good. No, you can carry on. Sorry, it wasn't the end whistle. Carry on.
Okay.
Oh, quick, Stu, hit it with the thing. We're winning against...
Schnaps is a big cheat. Absolute cheat. Go again, lads. Go again.
Go again. I'm penalising you 7 goals. Excuse me. Another 2-minute shot.
Pull his head up.
Lee.
And fire those big money balls.
Here we go. Come on. Dragar's got it.
Oh, he scored! He scored!
It's a draw. It is a draw, but I'm awarding Stu and Rich win.
End of the game. Well done, lads.
Because they're morals. They're 1-1, but I've given Stu and Rich because they're more moral.
What was the score? What was the score?
1-1, but I'm giving it to Stu and Rich because they're more moral.
And I've seen his winky.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, hello, Schnaps. Hello, laddie. Good laddie.
We've run out of time.
Well, I'm afraid we're out of time.
Stu and Rich, keep your PO moves on stick to Dragar. to Schnapps,
I'll
to
get
all
you,
of you. I've no
Dragar,
idea how
the
much time is left.
And to Caroline Brennan.
What we're doing.
Lunch. Oh, thanks, Caroline.
You're
Don't
strange,
forget,
you
Stu
are.
and Richard's new TV show, Good Morning with Richard, Not Judy, starts this Sunday lunchtime at 12:15. You can watch the Ice Warriors in action Saturdays at 6:15.
Also, Stu and Schnapps are starting their own show, which they're going to be boxing naked in this studio, 9 a.m. Join us tomorrow.
Allie, could we talk in private?
The age-old question.
Do you think you could ever become interested in me?
Absolutely. The thought of a date, I just couldn't picture the two of us.
Is size important? Ally McBeal, Wednesday at 10 on 4.
A knockout edition of Collector's Lot next on 4 sends Debbie Thrower off on the trail of some magnificent sporting mementos. That's coming up.
Winner Taco is a mighty new taco-shaped snack. Once you've bitten your way through the crispy wafer taco and munched and crunched through all the chocolate and peanuts and devoured the smooth caramel through to the cool ice cream, it'll leave you feeling a much better animal. Winner Taco, the powerful new snack from Walls.
Deep down, you know you should protect from sunburn. Deep down, you know you should protect from long-term skin damage. And deep down, you just want to enjoy the sun. Ombre Solaire with Deep Protecting Mextral SX, a patented formula that protects your skin from the sun's deep penetrating UVA rays that cause long-term skin damage. Ombre Solaire, formulated and controlled by Laboratoire Garnier for healthier skin in the sun today and tomorrow.
This is an appeal from Oxfam to ask you for £2 a month to help some of the world's poorest people. What if you had to stand by and watch your crops fail because the ground was too parched to nourish them? What if you had to just to get enough water to quench your thirst? What if your children...
Excuse me, can I... Slow down, you crazy fool.